Hi, I'm Brock Davidson. We're going to do some dyno comparisons between the 2009 GSX-R1000 and the 2010 BMW S1000RR for SuperStreetBike.com. We're going to make some dyno pulls on a completely stock GSX-R1000 to get a baseline, and we're going to roll up the BMW S1000RR for a comparison. We're going to try to do the test within 5 minutes so we get a full baseline of exactly the differences between the GSX-R, which we know is a very strong motorcycle, and the new BMW. Okay, what we have here is a correction factor on the SAE scale. Best, we've got 3 runs, almost direct overlays. A best peak power of 165.01 horsepower. A best peak torque of 79.54 foot-pounds of torque. Now we're going to go ahead and throw the BMW up here and see what it does under the same conditions. Okay, so we just rolled the 2010 BMW S1000RR up here. We used the 2009 GSX-R1000 because there's not actually a 2010 model available. The BMW, this one is brand new. It has maybe 500 miles on it. Still has the break-in oil. Let's see what she's got. Alright, here we have the BMW's 3 runs with a maximum power of 183.06 horsepower with maximum torque of 80.055 foot-pounds. Rotational horsepower on a chassis dyno is defined as torque multiplied by RPM divided by 5250, and BMW has chosen to produce a screamer of an engine, which really shows up here on our Model 250 Dynojet dyno. The BMW's peak power of 183.06 versus the Suzuki's 165.01 is an 18 horsepower advantage. But where the BMW really shines is in the over-rev or peak areas where the Suzuki never even reaches. If you like to race or spend any time at all at wide open throttle, this is where the BMW easily pulls away from the rest of its Japanese competition. At around 13.2, where the GSX-R is completely nosed over and is about to hit the rev limiter, the BMW is still pulling strong and producing a staggering 25 more horsepower. The advantage this gives you is that you can shift the BMW as high as 13.5 or 13.6, and after the gear change, you're going to fall back into an area where you still have 10 or 15 more horsepower to accelerate the bike after the shift compared to the GSX-R. Needless to say, this is a tremendous advantage in racing, and we're still talking about a stock bike with a stock exhaust system. I do want to point out that as a result of its over-square engine configuration, it does appear that you lose a bit of low RPM power with the BMW compared to the GSX-R1000. I'm not really worried about it myself because I can't really remember the last time I raced anyone at wide open throttle in 4th gear from 5,000 RPM the way we performed this test. But who knows, I guess it could happen. I should also point out that the GSX-R in this test does have our Allison less than zero weight oil and Petron oil additive. So it's reading about 5 more horsepower than it should all the way across the board. To put all this into perspective for you, most guys are pretty happy with the 25 horsepower dry shot of nitrous added to their bike. So metaphorically speaking, the BMW's power really is like having a 25 horsepower shot. This means for right now, there's nothing on the 1000cc market that even comes close. Not even a ZX-14 or a Hayabusa makes this kind of power out of the crate. When you start talking about the BMW's ability to control this power using their dynamic traction control, we're afraid it may take the gentleman from Japan quite a while to catch up. In closing, I'll leave you with one last item to consider about the power of the new S1000RR. In 2008, we won the AMA Drag Bike Super Sport National Championship with Keith Dennis riding a Brock's Performance GSX-R1000. The bike had a Super Sport spec engine, short mag exhaust system, triple X race fuel, and I tuned it myself. Keith still holds the quarter-mile speed record for the class at 165.4 miles per hour. The BMW I'm sitting on right now makes more peak power, bone stock on pump gas, than that record-holding GSX-R1000. We're not exactly sure how the dyno results we measured here today are going to translate to racetracks and drag strips around the world, but we're pretty confident that the new BMW is going to be a serious contender for the fastest bike money can buy. Till next time, I'm Brock Davidson.